You find a nice corner spot, put some plants in the window, serve good coffee, and chat with the regulars. It sounds like a life well lived. This chart shows the survival rate of independent coffee shops in the United States over a 5-year timeline. Between 50 and 74% will either change ownership or close completely within that window. 1 in 6 won't survive their first 12 months. These failures occur because the internal mechanics of the business are far more complex than the view from the sidewalk suggests. Successful owners have to master a set of variables that have almost nothing to do with the quality of the coffee beans. This is a real estate operation, a labor management problem, and a psychological experience product, all wrapped inside a building that happens to smell like espresso. Urban sociologists use a specific term for this kind of environment: the third place. It's a destination entirely distinct from your home and your office, where people can exist in an unhurried, comfortable social setting. A $5 transaction grants a customer a temporary lease on a piece of private real estate. They are paying for 36 degrees Celsius ambient heating, high-speed internet access, good acoustic design, and a clean restroom. This creates a specific economic conflict. You are running a micro-landlord operation, where the tenants only pay a few dollars for hours of occupation. Commercial real estate for food and beverage operators is priced to reflect one metric: how many people walk past that spot every day. Choosing a cheaper location in a quiet alleyway might save on the monthly lease, but every customer served there must be actively pulled to the door through marketing spend or social media campaigns. A corner spot on a busy high street delivers customers organically. The higher rent for that location is actually a form of prepaid customer acquisition. Because total occupancy costs should stay under 10% of gross revenue, the specific piece of ground you choose permanently bakes the risk into the business before the first drink is poured. Most commercial spaces were not designed to be cafes. Converting a former clothing boutique into a code-compliant kitchen with grease traps, floor drains, and heavy electrical upgrades requires a build-out that can easily consume $100,000 to $150,000. Then there is the engine of the space, a professional, multi-group espresso machine built to handle a morning rush. These machines cost around $25,000. Espresso is over 98% water. Municipal tap water contains dissolved minerals that, when heated, crystallize and stick to the internal surfaces of the boiler. This scale will systematically destroy a high-end machine within 18 months. Protecting that investment requires a $2,000 reverse osmosis filtration system. First-time owners who prioritize aesthetics over this kind of essential infrastructure often find themselves with no cash reserves when the equipment inevitably fails. This breaks down a $5 urban latte. Physical ingredients, beans, milk, and cup cost just over $1. The rest goes to barista labor, rent, utilities, and processing fees. The store owner keeps about 85 cents. This tight margin makes the business vulnerable to the spatial yield problem, which is often personified by a customer with a laptop. A person buying one drink and sitting in a 4-person window seat for 4 hours caps that table's revenue at $5.50. If that same table turned over 4 times, it would have generated over $20. Thriving cafes manage this through spatial engineering. They use communal bars, specific power outlet placement, and time-limited Wi-Fi codes to ensure the real estate remains productive. This chart illustrates the food attach rate. Adding a $5 pastry to a drink order essentially doubles the gross profit of the visit without requiring any additional real estate time. However, food introduces the risk of spoilage. While coffee beans last for months, a pastry is useless by tomorrow. Managing this requires daily inventory tracking to prevent unsold items from becoming pure loss. Labor presents a similar challenge. Because pulling espresso cannot be automated without changing the product, labor costs absorb 30% of revenue. Owners must schedule staff granularly to match the specific peaks and lulls of their foot traffic. Success depends on the owner's ability to balance the daily data of food waste and barista hours against the natural rhythm of the street. A well-managed cafe generating $500,000 a year in sales typically produces a 10% net profit. At that rate, it takes 3 to 5 years just to pay back the initial build-out capital. A single location creates a stable middle-class income for an owner-operator. It does not, on its own, generate significant wealth. To generate wealth, owners have to scale. By branching out to second and third locations, they can spread fixed administrative overhead, like accounting and branding, across multiple revenue streams. Massive chains followed this same structural logic. They proved the model in one location, like this street corner near Seattle's Pike Place Market, before scaling into production and vertical integration. The owners who thrive long-term are not necessarily the ones with the best espresso. They are the ones who understand that the coffee is simply the mechanism used to fund a high-stakes real estate business.